Guys and gals, Spac3unicorn here bringing you some hot frag action. Today, guys, we're going with the A over frag power challenge. Frag powers challenge. Woo, that's fun to say. And we're going to be giving you three, count them, 1, 2, 3 tips and tricks in order to win this event and get those frag powers, because those frag powers are incredibly helpful with these cards. But before we get in the video, I need you guys to do me a huge favor. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support is genuinely appreciated, and I cannot do this without your help, as it really does drive me to make more and better content. Also, did you know I have a creator code? Use creator code Spac3unicorn in the item shop, as 10% of whatever you purchase goes to me directly and will help me pay my bills, upgrade the setup, and overall improve the content that appears on the YouTubes. And I know you guys want that. Now, with that being said, let's get into AO's Frag Power Challenge. I think it should be Frag Powers Challenge. Leave a like on the video if you agree it should be Frag Powers Challenge, because you can do it more than once. Here we go. Alrighty, guys, now that we get into our first match here in the Frag Powers Challenge, AO's Frag Powers Challenge, I'm going to say Powers Challenge. We're going to go over the quick rules here before we get into our first tip. Remember, the rules of this event are very, very simple. You're playing on the new map, Halligan. I cannot pronounce that correctly. I apologize ahead of time for that, because I'm going to say it a few times in this video. And your goal, essentially, is to collect as many synergy orbs as humanly possible. These synergy orbs glow red and blue, as you can see on my left right here. And as we collect them, they add up to our total score, and these get added up into the raffle, so we spin the wheel to unlock the frag powers in question. You can complete this challenge more than once, and honestly, it is a lot of fun. A couple things to note here: the more kills you get, the more orbs you can obtain. The only way to get an orb to be generated from a kill is by getting a kill with AO and or Izuna. That is literally the only way you are going to get those orbs to appear for you. No other character can cause them to appear. Now, sometimes they do run away from you, but you can get them. I believe in you. Now, why don't we get into tip number 1 for AO's Frag Powers Challenge. Tip number 1 for the Frag Powers Challenge, guys, is change your style of gameplay. This is not a normal match. What that means is, whenever you play a normal match, you usually end up rushing a tower and trying to get the match over as quickly as possible. A longer match here is in your favor in this particular event, as the goal is to get as many kills as possible, not to destroy the bunkers. What does that mean for you as a player? Well, to put it very simply, you need to change your play style from Rush, which is the majority of frag players, to a Slayer style player. Now, this is going to be very uncomfortable for a lot of guys who don't do this on a regular basis. I am extremely comfortable in a Slayer role. It is my preferred style of gameplay, and these events really suit me very, very well. So what does it mean to be a Slayer? A Slayer means you're taking AO and or Izuna and running around the map getting all the kills. You are going to become kill hungry. This is the one time you're going to ever hear you saying it's okay to kill steal from your teammates, because you need those kills to be generated with AO or Izuna in order to generate that synergy orb and collect it. Honestly, guys, slaying style matches usually go the entirety of the match. Another thing to note, guys, with this game mode, if you lose, it does not cost you. So if you lose, it does nothing. You don't get the orbs, but you get to go again. What do I mean by that? Well, in other past events, guys, these particular events, if you only had 5 matches to play them through. This time you have 5 wins, so you have to win 5 times. So do not be in a hurry to rush those towers if you find yourself losing. Keep slaying, and if you pull ahead, great. If you don't, that's fine too, because you get another chance at it in order to unlock those frag powers. Incredibly important thing to note, guys. Just trust me, play Slayer. I know it's going to be uncomfortable, and honestly, once you get used to Slayer, though, you will enjoy it a lot more than tower rushing. It's so much more fun to try and kill your opponent's cards, or frag your opponent's cards. Haha, I made a punny. Instead of rushing the towers. As you guys can see here, we did this incredibly efficiently in this match. That was a 20 orb victory. Great job, and if I keep that pace, I'll be able to get the frag powers, no difficulty at all. Now let's roll into our second match, and then once we get in there, we'll begin with tip number 2. Alrighty, guys, now that you know our tip numero uno for these particular things, we need to tell you and talk about tip number 2 for the AO Frag Powers Challenge. It definitely sounds better than this. Now, Tip number 2 for this, guys, is going to be something we touched on briefly within tip number 1. And I honestly think that you guys have probably figured this out already, but we want to touch base on it just so that you guys are aware of it. But just for a reminder before we move into it, tip number 1 was change your playstyle to a Slayer role. Alrighty, now let's talk about tip number 2. Tip number 2, guys, is very, very simple as well, and we touched on it briefly in tip number 1. Tip number 2 is you are going to want to main Izuna or AO. Why Izuna or AO? The answer is very, very, very simple. Why do I say very so much? But the answer is this. You can only generate these synergy orbs with getting a kill with either Izuna or AO. No other character is going to generate these orbs for you, so therefore playing another character and getting kills with them, even if it is a better character, does absolutely nothing for you. There is no advantage to running around with Stella, for instance, killing everybody, as opposed to running around with Izuna killing everybody. The difference is Izuna is going to give me these blue little synergy orbs, which are so nice, and Stella will not. So, while that may seem really simple, I've noticed in these matches that people are not using that. They're switching to all sorts of characters trying to get the win. This is not a get the win game type, guys. This is a play the characters so you can get the synergy game type and the wins will come. You do not have to win your first 5 matches. You have to get your first 5 wins are all that really counts in this game mode. And that is something I cannot harp on enough, guys. Just take the time, main Izuna and AO. Plus, you want to learn these characters anyways. Nobody has mastered these characters yet. Don't kid yourself. We're going to find little loopholes and exploits that people can do with these cards as time progresses. So you might as well play them now, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to find the next big frag glitch where a character can run around and one-shot somebody or can teleport through a wall or something like that, especially with a new map, guys. But as you can see here in this gameplay, all we are doing is switching between AO and Izuna. I am not going to touch any other card but AO or Izuna. And the reason being is exactly as I said. I cannot get any value from the other cards. Even though I like the other cards on my team, as you guys have seen, there's been a few which I really do enjoy, as Avalanche, Slimer. I do really like those cards, guys, but I can't get anything from them. So now you see I have no AO and Izuna on the field. I'm going to wait for them to respawn. I don't care that AO is on my side of the field, because if I lose, I still get to go again because it's wins, not 5 matches in a row. So while this may seem very, very simple to you guys, I have not seen enough people doing this. As you guys can see, my opponent right now is tower rushing. He's trying to get a win, thinking he's going to cost me something. And the truth is that he's not. He's not going to cost me anything if he were to win this match. In fact, it would help me because this match has been very poor on the orb count. This is something, guys, read the rules whenever you go into an event like this. Trust me, it will help you guys to generate the maximum points for these events and get you those elusive frag powers. Now, guys, we have tip number 3 coming up, but first, let's roll into our next match. Alrighty, guys, we're about to roll into our next match. Let's cut to, let's just go to the next match before we start. There we go. Look at that magic of editing. Woohoo! So, as you guys remember, tip number 2 is very simple. Play AO and Izuna because those are the only cards that really have any value in these particular matches. Now, moving on to tip number 3.
Would you hold out for justice? There was a player in Rise of Kingdoms who was sympathetic to...
Are you ready for this? Know your positioning! You need to understand where the spawns are coming from, and in order to do this and to maximize your frag potential, you need to be aware of where cards are on the field at all times. That little map up there will indicate to you where you can find the enemy team. And not only where you can find them, how you can easily intercept them. Why is this important, you may ask? Well, it's very, very simple. I did it again. I said very. I want to get over it. I'm going to stop saying very, very in all my videos. I swear. But the reason, guys, you want to get in the habit of doing this is because you need as many kills as possible to generate as many orbs. This is not like the paint can event where you get 3 per kill. Here you only get 1. So each orb matters a lot. And if you can maximize the orb potential by knowing and being aware of what's going on your side of the field, you will greatly improve your chances of generating enough synergy to unlock those frag powers. Because at the end of the day, these events are designed to get you those frag powers. They also kind of showcase a new map, but at the same time, your goal is not the new map. Your goal is, I want frag powers. That is the only thing I want. I want them because they are broken. That's my opinion on frag powers, just in case you didn't know. So, oh, sorry guys. But honestly, like I said, guys, just use that mini-map. You will constantly see me watching the mini-map. If you ever watch a live stream where I have my face cam, I'm constantly looking up to the left. And I actually have watched myself do this. It's just an old habit, guys. I honestly, Call of Duty, years of Call of Duty has developed the mini-map awareness. And it is something you can train and learn, guys. Trust me, you will be grateful for learning this ability. So, just to sum up your 3 tips and remind you what they all are. Tip number 1, you guys remember, is change your play style to Slayer. This will help you in getting those kills and not end the match so quickly that you don't generate enough synergy to unlock frag. Tip number 2, who remembers? Let me know in the comments. I'm waiting. That's right, play AO and Izuna, as those are the only cards that can generate the synergy for you. People are struggling with this event not because they're not be able to play the event, but because they don't understand that synergy is only being generated whenever you get a kill with AO or Izuna, and they're wasting their time running around with other characters trying to get wins as opposed to kills. And the final tip, guys, just to remind you, well, I guess that's kind of what this whole side was about, is map awareness, guys. You have to remember where your enemy is on the field at all times in order to get the most kills possible. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us. I appreciate you guys being here. This has been 3 tips and tricks to help you win your frag powers for AO and Izuna. Hope it helped you guys out. Let me know if it does in the comments down below, and smash that like button, as it really helps me out with getting this video off the ground. Thank you, everybody, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.